Hey guys, good morning. This is not really a build video, this is going to be an update video. So if you want to hear about the Spar and a few other little things that are going on, stick around. Okay, so as I was saying, I got the skin finally drilled, the skeleton, all drilled down through there, and it's all cleaking up just nicely. I wanted to get it this far so I could say, was it a hassle or not? The one thing I did find was that this doubler, the little angle iron that goes, the angle piece that goes down across that, is open a little at the top. So I was getting a weird measurement, and when I collapsed that with all these clecos, then my measurement for level horizontally on both ends were correct. And that I chased around for a bit because I'd raise this up or put it down to get it level, and then this wasn't 90 degrees and to the end, and that was kind of funny and then when I found it, I clecoed them down and did my measuring, and I was able to not chase it. So if that makes sense. So I popped this on and I started to upsize these from the 3/32 to 1/8, and then I'm going to wait to go final distance after this is riveted down, and then I'll finish that up, prime it, stick it under there. So that's where we're at right now. It's really cool to have it to this stage, and I'm happy with how level it is and from end to end. So riveting will be next. One other decision I had to make was to put 2 wires back in here for the 2 lights. I decided to go ahead, since my Spar is still being built and not coming, I needed extras to do. And it's the pattern down here for the lights are on both. One's drawn inside and one's drawn on the outside. So I decided to put the lights on the left wing, which I hope are going to be cool. I know I've been reading up. I finally found, if you guys are getting any arrow LEDs, they don't have any directions, so you have to go online and find them, which was tricky. Let's see if I can find it here. They don't have on their website, believe it or not, when you go down through their lights, the ones that came from Zenith are the 36 HX. Well, I finally found, I just searched line for the HX, and it took me to their website, and you can find it that way. But just so you know, if you go to the documentation in there, I couldn't find it. So I don't know what kind of, it just doesn't make any sense, but it did work if I Googled it, and then it would do it. So let's see here. What was I going to show you? It's going to be the last place I look, right? Here it is. So I printed these out and put them with this is their paper that they sent when I bought the light kit. And this is the arrow LEDs. And they have the wiring diagrams, what I was looking for. And I'd rechecked that if I use the 16 gauge wire and put it per light, you could almost do it with one wire for both lights for approximately a 30-foot run with 3.2, so 6.4 amps at 14 volts. You could kind of do it if you made your Spar your ground. I am going to use my Spar as my ground so that I will just have less wire, but I am going to wire them both separately with 2 separate hots. And that way I also can wigwag them. I know that you can't see it a long ways off because they're going to be close together, and I'm only going to have one set because this airplane for me probably will never fly at night, but I think it'll look cool. I like the fact that I can wire them up and have them blink back and forth just for fun, so it'll look cool. So anyway, so we found these, and they have real nice wiring diagrams with, if I can get it here. I see guys film like this and using one hand, and I go, why don't they just put it on a tripod? Now I know why they don't. Because we're foolish. Okay, so the wiring diagram here for 1, pretty cool. And for 2, what was the other? I think there's a third version. Oh yeah, of course for both sides. All right, we got her done and flipped over. So if I have any advice to give, don't rivet this final hole when you're doing the bottom skins. Wait until that is pulled over and the rivets are all in. Because it just doesn't pull down tight enough, and I had to take some rivets out. So don't make that mistake. Unless you can get it to pull down tight, the rivet will stop about 1/16 of an inch and break off. Also, don't forget the inside 2 rivets right there that have to go on the bottom side of the strut support. All right, well, as you can see, I've got a little bit of the wiring done in here. Went through the back, put the 2 for the landing lights up to the front and supported them well. And am routing, getting ready to. Got to put the grommet in here and route this up for the nav lights. But the thing I wanted to say on this video that was really important to me is asking questions or just talking with a friend yesterday, and he said it was really important to put dielectric grease on things like I'm going to rivet this up and put a ground wire from this side to this side because I'm going to do a bunch of grounding here, and I want to make sure that the main spar is grounded all the way to the end. And then of course at the other end I'm going to have a wire down there hooking it to the roll cage or the cabin steel, and then the steel to the aluminum, so we won't have to worry about just rivets making that connection. But I'm going down to get some dielectric grease right now. I think that we use that a lot in automotive whenever I was putting plugs together and stuff. But the importance of using it on here, I wasn't even going to do it. So I love getting information like that. I haven't seen anybody talk about doing that. So that's up next. I got to run to Napa and I'll be right back. And we're back. So this is exactly what you need. Smear a little bit of that on everything before you bolt or rivet it up, and that should help keep things from anti-corrosion. Boy, that's tight. All greased up. Wipe it down a little. Neaten it up a little. Not that it matters much. And there's the grounding strap. Then make sure this part is attached to this part instead of just through this primer thing with rivets, which we're only doing lights here. I'm gonna not have a return ground all the way. I'm gonna be using the Spar, as you can see. All right, well, I have to apologize to you. Well, that wire went in there nice. I gotta apologize for not putting out any videos much lately. I've had a couple things going on. Personally, I'm coming down off prednisone, which has withdrawal symptoms, and if you've been on it a week or 3 weeks, it's kind of, or 3 months, it's kind of tough, but I've been on it 4 years, so it's kind of crazy. Got an autoimmune thing that they're trying to clean up, and it does help, it does work, so that's cool. The other thing is we went on a cruise, and so that's why I haven't been putting out anything or working. It's tough to be out here when you're withdrawing, so, and you don't make good decisions, you're kind of foggy brained, so. But today I'm having a great day, so I'm out here and enjoying it, and I got some things done. One of the things that I'd like to put in this video is the importance of asking questions and researching. All I can do is research and find stuff online the best I can do, but I never saw anything about that dielectric grease. And I probably would have riveted that on without doing that. And I'm so glad my good buddy Jim was told me about that, or just said, we were talking about corrosion and what kind of rivets to use. Of course, you want aluminum rivets, and you want aluminum against aluminum. So we're going to end this one here. Thanks a lot for coming along. I'll put something else out soon. And it was good to see you. And hey, happy building.